Hey everyone, last week was our first round of social distancing rehearsals. We got to jam with so many musicians in person. It was amazing. And the good news is we have one more round of social distancing rehearsals coming up this. Wait, there's been a change in plans. I just heard from the Signal Hill Weather Service, and this weekend they're expecting rain and cold weather. So folks, we're gonna have to move everything back 1 week. The distance rehearsals and the virtual performance. We'll send you updates really soon. Stay dry. The bad news is will be our last rehearsal of this session. The good news is we still have our virtual fall and holiday performances, and it's looking like we will once again be part of National Make Music Day on December 21st. And more good news, our winter session begins the week of January 31st. Information is on the website, jazzangels.org. I have a couple more things to share with you, but now it's time for a few jokes from some Jazz Angels musicians. Will, can you play the joke of the week?
No problem.
Hey everybody, my name is Pierre and this is my joke of the week. How do you know the difference between a violin and a viola? The viola burns longer. Drop the drumsticks.
Hi, I'm Barry, and here's my joke of the week. Why can't a nose be 12 inches? 'Cause then it would be a foot.
Hi, I'm Echo, and this is my joke of the week. A minor and B flat both walk into a bar, and they sit down to order some drinks. But the bartender says, "Sorry, we don't serve minors here." Thank you.
Hello, my name is Lantrar, and I play the bass. This is my joke of the week. What's so great about Switzerland? I don't really know, but the flag is a big plus.
I'm Albert. Funny thing happened to me last week when I was at the music school. This piano player was in the practice room, and he was banging his head against the keys. Banging his head against the keys. I turned to somebody and said, "Why is he banging his head on the keys?" They told me, "He's playing by ear." By the way, I'm here all week.
Nobody does what we do. Jazz, jokes, food, and more all rolled up into one 9-week session. And like the art form of jazz itself, we find ways to keep the music playing, sometimes against all odds. This COVID thing hit everyone really hard and really fast. Like many young people, our musicians were and are helpless victims of this situation. School music programs and other arts organizations are still not sure what to do. We not only figured out how to deliver our program to young people at home, we expanded our reach to include musicians from all over North America, which is pretty cool. This approach of not letting outside forces affect us has been happening to jazz since the beginning. Here's what I mean in a 2-minute history of jazz segment. Will, can you put a clock on the screen? When jazz first came on the scene in the early 1900s, it wasn't called jazz. It was called jazz. However, when the billboards advertising the jazz shows went up, people painted over that J. So society said, hey, we don't like that music because it's a bad word. But the musicians went, what if we just change those S's to Z's? And it was called jazz and is called jazz forever because of that. Then World War I started and the government closed down the only section of town that had jazz because they wanted everyone to focus on the war. So the musicians went all over the country sharing this new music of jazz. But then there was this racism thing. People who didn't even play music said musicians can only play with others who have the same skin color. The jazzers didn't like that and would often have these jam sessions from like 2 to 6 in the morning, so everyone who wanted to was able to jam. But then this guy named Jelly Roll Morton jumped up on stage with a band where they all had different colored skin than him. He sounded so good that after the performance, musicians of all kinds were able to play together. Then people started saying jazz was nonsense music and anyone playing it didn't know what they were doing. Well, This guy named George Gershwin wrote a piece that combined classical and jazz music, and he invited all the classical music bigwigs to the debut. It was a hit, and after that, people considered jazz to be a legitimate form of music. So, like jazz itself, the Jazz Angels finds a way against all odds to keep the music going and to create this environment for creative self-expression, whether at home or in a group. How'd I do in the 2 minutes, Will? Before we go, save the date. Sunday, November 15th at 4 o'clock for our virtual Fall Jazz Festival, where you can see all the Jazz Angels bands and some other really cool things we've cooked up for you. Sunday, December 6th at 4 o'clock is our virtual holiday gig, and we'll soon have information about the National Make Music Day on December 21st. Our winter session begins the week of January 31st, and details are on the website. Lastly, our recommended videos of the week are a few seconds from our social distancing rehearsal, Jelly Roll Morton's The Finger Breaker, as played by Dick Hyman, and George Gershwin's Rhapsody in Blue from Disney's Fantasia 2000. We'll see you soon.